pick up my phone, and it's the truck driver calling me. And I'm like, this is not good. Answer the call. He said, somebody just stole your car. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, somebody stole your car. And I was like, I guess I'm going to come back. So I run back over to him, and he's just standing there like this. So I was purchasing my Lamborghini Performante, and in the process, I was trading in a vehicle that I was using towards that purchase. So it was a 2018 AMG GTR Mercedes, and in that process, I structured a deal. This car that I wanted was out in California, and it was the best deal that I could find. So I thought it was worth it to ship my car out there. They shipped the car to me, and pretty much a normal thing. I've bought and sold many cars, so a pretty easy process. So I thought, with these transport companies and selling cars, it's become a very odd thing, and it's become very difficult to find people who are reliable and good and who aren't going to just damage your car or anything like that. So I get a call saying, hey, they're going to come pick your car up tonight possibly, and the truck driver calls me. And with these truck drivers, they tell you one time and it's always another time. And so they called me at around 7 o'clock and said, hey, can we come tonight at 10? And I said, actually, I don't know about that. I live in the city. Where are you going to do it? I would like to be in daylight. And this driver insisted that I have the car picked up tonight. He said, let's just do it tonight. Let's get it over with. I have another job to be at in the morning. So with that, I decided, you know what? That's fine. I'm going to go tell him where to go, where to park, and kind of go from there. So truck driver decides to call me saying he's there, and I tell him where to park his truck, and he decides that that's not an optimal location for him. He'd rather be somewhere else. So he pulls around to another street, which is a very popular road here in Atlanta. It's called Far Road. And he says, I'll do it here. He pulls into the median. And so it's 3 lanes, a median where you can turn, and then lanes going each way. So he decides to park there, and he said, this will be a good spot. And I said, are you sure? And he said, yeah, this is fine for me. So I meet him with the car, the AMG GTR. I pull it around the back, and I basically wait for him to prepare the trailer for the car to be loaded up on. So this was a double stacker 18-wheeler with the trailer. So there's 2 levels of cars. So the way that the trailer, how they would load the cars up is this: the trailer would kind of fold back down like this. So it's a flatbed once that folded down. So we folded that down, and I pulled the car up behind it. And as you do with any of these kind of transactions and with transporting cars, is he goes and he takes a bunch of photos of the car, checks out and makes sure there's no damage, and whatever damage there is, he won't be held accountable for. So he goes around, takes all these photos of the car and make sure it's all good. I signed off on it. So you have to sign off on it saying, now releasing liability to him. Whatever happens to the car now is his responsibility. So I sign away liability for the car, and I decide to walk home because I lived in a condo at the time. So I start walking home. And as I'm walking home, I walk into this convenience store. I grab a Gatorade, and I'm walking home, and I hear rip by. And so this AMG GTR had downpipes, had tune. It was like 800 horsepower. It was crazy, sounded amazing. And I was like, that sounds amazing, and that sounds like my car. So I'm like, did he just take my car on a joyride, or is it just in the city? There is a lot of AMGs, so it could have been any AMG. And then I just keep walking, pick up my phone, and it's the truck driver calling me. And I'm like, this is not good. Answer the call. He said, somebody just stole your car. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, somebody stole your car. And I was like, I guess I'm going to come back. So I run back over to him, and he's just standing there like this, just like, what happened? Looking at me, and I'm like, I have no idea. What do we do? Let's call the police. So I immediately call the police, and I'm like, somebody just stole my car, blah, blah, blah. Can you come help? And so we get that process started, and then we start trying to talk and figure out what's happening. Was the car running? What had happened? He said, so I got in the car, I pulled it up onto the back, onto the trailer, and then I got out, I left the keys in it, left it running, and I went to the front of my truck to go check on something. And I was like, well, that's a bad idea in general, just to do that. And so being as this is in the city of Atlanta, there is a lot of crime that goes on in the city, and the police are well aware of it. Somebody's, in my head, saw an opportunity to see a running car, a nice car, and hop in it, backed out, ripped, and gone. And so that was where the car got stolen. And so that's kind of what we started to piece together what happened. And so in this process, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because the truck driver is like, I called my boss, I need to go. I need to go take this trailer somewhere else because I don't want these people to come back and steal another car. And I was like, you can't leave. Like, this is a crime, scene of a crime. Like, the police are coming. What if you come? And he's like, I have to leave. I have to leave. And so that was a little suspicious to me. And so he gets in his car and he drives. And I'm like, where are you going? He's like, I'll call you. And so he's like, I found a parking lot 30 minutes away, and I'm going to park the cars there, and I'm going to Uber back to you. That sounds like a setup. Like, this sounds like this was completely set up. And so I sit there. It's 10 o'clock when I call the police. I'm sitting there waiting. Cops' cars keep driving by. I try to flag them down. Nothing. Waiting. 2 a.m. The cops finally come. I waited there 4 hours outside. It was raining and it was 30 degrees out. In the rain, waiting for these police. It was insane. And I was getting sketched out. Like, what if these guys come back again, like the other guy said? So the truck driver Ubers back and he meets me. And so he gets there after the police arrive. So after, it was about 4 hours later that he showed back up. He shows up, we give the statements to the police, and I made sure that I was there because I saw myself as not responsible because I signed the car away. I was done with the car. He's now responsible. So that's how I saw my eyes. So you would think that I could just be done and go home, but I didn't want the truck driver to come back and say, hey, this is his fault. He left the car, whatever. The policeman got there and took statements, and the truck driver gave the statement that he signed liability away, not his responsibility anymore. So I thought that was nice that I covered my bases on that. And the craziness in happening in this is that I am now thinking that I have to call this dealership and tell them that the car that they're getting on trade is now stolen. So I call them while I'm waiting for the police, no answer. And I'm like, great, this guy's going to wake up to now seeing that a car was stolen and this whole deal, because my new car that was on the way, my Huracan Performante, was already on the way. They had already sent it on the way because they knew, they didn't really know me, but they had just started the process. And so I go to sleep stressed out. I was so stressed out because I was like, I don't know what this is going to mean, because my car was supposed to be delivered the next day. So I wake up, the guy calls me and goes, what happened? I explain the entire situation to him. He's like, all right, did you have a tracker on your car? Like, do you have the Mercedes app to track it? And I was like, I only had that car for like 3 months, so I didn't have anything set up. I was like, no, I don't have that. And so he starts trying to figure out, what do we do now? Weirdly enough, something that happened at night that I got the next morning in this process was I was texting one of my good friends about what happened, because he's into cars and all that. And he's like, wait, that happened last night? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, he knows somebody that runs ATL Scoop. And somebody was sitting on their balcony, on their condo, and recorded it getting stolen. So it was posted on ATL Scoop. You can see the car rip by, fly by. It sounds amazing. And the guy pans back to the truck, and the truck driver's standing there like, what just happened? Like, what happened? So I get this video, and I thought this would be really good to send to the dealership to let them know, like, hey, this is like the situation that happened. So I sent it to him. Immediately I get a text back that says, we no longer can be in contact with the salesperson. You now have to be in contact with the legal department for any communications about this situation. And I was like, that's weird. Like, I kind of get it, but not really. Once they got that video, they suspected me of being in on it, and me of being a part of this whole stolen car situation, that I'm going to, take my car back and then take this new car in. With this car, the Lamborghini, I had already bought it. I had put down a large amount of money, and I was financing a portion of it. So it's not like I was, like, in my eyes, I'm like, what am I have to gain here? They see the video, that goes through, and so now I have to talk to their legal team because they're like, we can't release your car, because your new car coming in, because this car's stolen, we think you have something to do with it. So I get a call from this legal team, and they essentially start coming at me with a million questions, asking about the situation. How'd you get this video? I explain it all. They were asking because I had asked to change the delivery of the Performante, the delivery address. And so I wanted to do it by my office, which was in the suburbs, in an open parking lot in like a Target, because I don't want what happened in the city to happen again. So they call me and he's questioning me. He's like, why do you want to do this at a Target 15 miles away when you have a Target right down the road? And I said, well, does it make sense to you to have a car delivered in the same area that was just stolen at? Like, to me, especially a flashier car, that makes absolutely no sense. So he sees that and he's like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. And then he's like, well, your office that you're saying is up there, it's not, I don't see it registered to your name online. And I was like, well, I'm a content creator and I can't have my business's address public knowledge like that. And so he's like, okay, so what do you do? So I showed him some videos, and this dealership had worked and had other creators buy from them before. And so he looks me up and starts looking at me, and he's like, oh, this is starting to make a little bit more sense. So he asked me a little bit more questions, He's like, okay, I believe you now, and I'm going to release your car to you. And so here comes this driver, drops off my Performante in perfect condition, and I get the car, thankfully. But that doesn't resolve the issue at hand, which is my AMG GTR. What happens with that? So as this goes on, this process took probably a month and a half, because at this point, who's liable? The dealership's not liable because this is a car that they're purchasing but they don't have ownership of yet, and I'm not liable because I let it to the truck company. So truck company, they're the ones liable. And so they start to do a full-blown investigation, and apparently, with all bringing this ATL Scoop as being this page that gets all this stuff, there was another picture posted of an AMG GTR the next day driving in the city of Atlanta with no tag on it. Because that was another aspect of this, is what they're asking is like, what's the license plate? And I said there was none because I sold it. I didn't let them take the tag. So apparently somebody saw this car driving in the city of Atlanta next day, joyriding, which is crazy. I keep getting calls from investigators probably for the next couple weeks. Every week, get a call from a new investigator. Finally, I get a call from the city of Atlanta. They basically broke down how they understand that this is a huge thing. And one of the bigger problems that they have in Atlanta is people will steal Dodge Chargers and Dodge Challengers, Hellcats, swap the motor with a stock car, swap the VINs, all that. It happens with a lot of cars, but not with the AMGs as much. But he said most likely would happen that we think we have a tip on your car and we think that we know where it is, but we just want to ask you a few more questions about it. What happens next is I get a call from the dealership a couple days later saying, hey, we're going to receive your car, the AMG, off of the truck this afternoon. Ask me a few questions. And I was like, so they found it. And they're like, we don't know how, but they got the car back in one piece and it was delivered to the dealership safe and sound. The second that it got delivered, I never heard one word from that dealership ever again, except they asked if I wanted to buy another car a couple months later. But after that, about that whole situation, I never heard what happened to the car, what condition it was in, and where it went. And so I have no idea where that is now. And it is scot-free in my hands, and I no longer have to deal with the investigators of the Atlanta Police Department seeing me as a suspect.
Today's video is brought to you by Somo. Sotheby's Motorsport is one of the fastest growing online auction marketplaces for collector cars and exotic cars. I've sold several of my personal cars on Somo and had great experiences every time. I sold my GTC4 Lusso, a 1976 Rolls-Royce, and a 6-wheeled Range Rover, and all of the transactions went really smoothly. From submitting the car all the way through the auction to the final bids and everything else that you want, they managed everything to make sure that the auction went as perfectly as it possibly could. They talked to me, they talked to the bidders, and everything worked out wonderfully. I know that you'll love them as well. So whether you're looking to buy a car or sell a car, check them out now at the link in the description below and find your next car on Somo.